Hey, what up y'all, this is your boy DethGalaxy and welcome to another New World video.
Can't touch this.
Nice.
You can't touch this.
Oh no, oh, okay.
Can't touch this.
Holy
Can't touch this.
That was like a near-death experience. So today I'm going to be doing an updated build guide, basically taking a look at my gear sets and every perk I'm using for the new update coming here in July for New World. This is going to be one of the biggest patches since the launch of the game, especially where the weapon perks on weapons now are going to be buffed, so everyone will be switching their weapons, I assume, as well as a lot of perks are being changed. Some other perks are being more valuable and more viable, but I'm just going to take a look at my set here that I have prepared for when the patch does come, so I'm ready to roll. And I made a lot of changes since my last build video and gear set, so I just want to show some of these new perks off to you and what I'm using. So let's get right into the video. I really think we are in a defensive perk meta right now, especially with the upcoming July patch. Like, I used to prioritize cooldown reductions like refreshing evasion or refreshing, but I found a lot more value when I focused on the defensive perk stacking with like resilient, shirking fortification, and also elemental aversion or physical aversion if need be. I do play as a light mage, but this build makes me feel like a tank when I'm rocking this gear, so let's take a look at the armor. So right now on my helmet I'm rocking Elemental Aversion, Deadly Frost, and Resilience. Now the Deadly Frost here is optional. I could go for another perk that is just for when I do want to run Deadly Frost, or if not, I still like to having the Resilient and the Elemental Aversion, so that's very nice, stacking the two defensive perks. Then as far as the chest, we have Elemental Aversion, Resilient, Unending Thaw. So I do have 2 Resilient, 2 Elemental Aversion so far, which are great defensive perks, and my 2 weapon perks. Then here on my light gloves, we have Shirking Fort, Resilient, and Refreshing Pillar of Fire. Now this is the dream gear in my opinion right now. Having Resilient and Shirking Fort on a stack is super OP for survivability, and it definitely outweighs having more cooldowns because you'll be able to survive and last longer, therefore you could put out more damage and help your teammate. And here on my pants, I got the same thing. We got another pair with Shirking Fort, Resilient, and an Accelerating Flamethrower. Now I am sacrificing Shirking Energy for these pants. To me, the defensive perks are more valuable. I may eventually try another build with them in the future, but as of now I'm really enjoying the defensive perk stacking. And then when it comes down to my boots, I do have Resilient, Healing Tomb, and Refreshing Evasion. Now I would prefer something else instead of the Refreshing Evasion, but this is good for now. But I would like another maybe Shirking Fort in there instead, or Elemental Aversion just to stack that up. And if you were unaware, in the next update, if you do run 200 con, they're going to be adding an actual 10% elemental resistance onto that perk as well, which will be really nice if you're stacking some elemental aversions on top of that. So yeah, that's basically the armor. I'll take another little look here. So in total I am rocking 5 pieces of Resilient, 2 pieces of Shirking Fort, and then 2 Elemental Aversion. And as far as the armor goes right now, I'm rocking full diamonds. I find them very beneficial right now because a lot of even melees, they're running elemental gems in their weapons to avoid the resistance from Oak Bomb and other defenses such as wearing full onyx. So I do find having that bit more elemental protection, it does kind of benefit you now, so it is worth it. So yeah, that's basically the gear and the gems I'm rocking right now. So it's a big change up from what I used to run. So I'm at max light now. I used to be 1 under because I ran a few medium pieces, but this is a max light set. And just some honorable mentions here. I'll show a few more pieces if I do want to switch my gear around. I do have a lot more options. For example, I do have this chest with Shirking Fort, Evasion, and Fireball, but the reason I did get rid of this chest is because we're going to get into the weapons now, and that is where the major part of this update is going to hit. So let's take a look at the weapons here. So as you can see on my fire staff, I have Fireball, Vicious, and Keen Speed. Now the Fireball perk is getting a huge buff with the next release here in July. It's going to be basically doing 60% damage instead of just 32, and also there's going to be changes to the duration for Keen Speed. I think it is going to be a little less haste, I believe about 20%, but it is going to last longer, maybe 10 seconds. I could be wrong, but I do believe so. And then Vicious, you can't go wrong with that as well. So that's on the fire staff. And the funny thing about this staff I'm actually using right now, it was actually the first legendary fire staff that I ever owned. I bought it from Global Chat for 5k probably in like late November, December, whatever it was. And it has aged very well, as 2 of the 3 perks will be getting buffed with this upcoming July patch. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, they are increasing the potency of a lot of weapon perks, which is going to be awesome for gameplay coming in the future. Alright, so let's get to the Ice Gauntlet here. The Ice Gauntlet I'm going with is the named one called Death's Grip. A good name, right? Like it's meant to be for me. I'm just kidding, but it is an awesome Ice Gauntlet. It's featuring Keelian Power, Keen, and Pylon Burst, which will be buffed for the next patch, doing 10% more damage with the attack of Pylon. Another reason I love this Ice Gauntlet is because the Pylon perk actually triggers Keelian Powered proc, allowing you to get that 15% damage boost boost and then switch to your other weapon to use the benefit, which is really cool. I don't know if a lot of people know that. So basically, not just keenly empowered, you could have keen speed instead, and when the pylon gets the hit while you have your ice gauntlet equipped, it will trigger that proc for you, which is really cool. And if you were interested to get a hold of this ice gauntlet yourself, it does drop in Ebonscale at Imperial Palace from the mage called Exeo. It's located right next to Daisy the Bear. If you do want to try to farm this gauntlet, I'd recommend like a group of 8 people to make it easy. It does have a few other drops at this farm as well, such as woodworker boots, a legendary hammer, a bow, and a rapier that are all pretty nice and worth to collect on the way. So yeah, make a little note here of where that is on the map if you'd like to get that farm. An honorable mention here would have to be the Crystalline Curse. It's another legendary ice gauntlet you can craft with 200 Arcana. Has the perks Unending Thaw, Refreshing Move, and Enchanted. Let me take a look. I should have it in my inventory here. Yeah, so right here. So the Crystalline Curse. So yeah, Refreshing Move, Unending Thaw, Enchanted. The only thing blocking you here is you're going to need 200 Arcana, which is kind of expensive right now, I believe, but this will be another great one to use when the update comes as well. Ice Storm and Unending Thaw will do 10% more damage, I believe, if you have that perk on your weapon. So that will be one I'll be swapping to sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, where I rotate my gear. So now that's the biggest parts out the way, the weapons. Let's get down to the jewelry. So not much has changed since the last video for the jewelry. I still have my necklace with Stamina Recovery, Divine, and Health. I'm still rocking my ring with Refreshing Evasion, Hardy, and Ice Damage. And I'm still rocking my earring with Healthy Toast, Refreshing Toast, and Regenerating. So these are 3 crafted ones that I'm using, but I just want to put out some honorable mentions here for people that may not have access to roll that stuff. So right now with the PvP track, you can actually get this gear called Champions. Here's the Champions amulet here. It's Stamina Recovery, Health, and Shirking of Power. Still a very nice amulet. You can get it for free. You're just missing out on that Divine. But if you do want something with a little more damage, you could switch to this one, as I do sometimes. So that one you can get for free from the PvP track, the Champions amulet. And then as far as the ring, I am rocking Refreshing Evasion, Hardy, Ice Damage. The Champions ring is also really nice. I do rock it sometimes with Invigorated Punishment, Hardy, and Keen Awareness. So I do rotate to that ring as of now. So that's another good one. You can get that for free from the PvP track. So yeah, I just basically want to do a little update video here showing you guys my new gear set that I'm rocking, and I'm ready for the new patch coming out. To be honest, I haven't been playing as much as I did in the past. In the last few weeks, I've been busy IRL, but I am excited for when this patch drops this month to see how it changes the PvP and the combat, and we're one step ahead, making sure we're ready for that day. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I just showed you all my gear set, my weapons, and my jewelry that I'm rocking for the upcoming patch here in July. The best thing you could do is prepare now for the patch, so get your weapons with the weapon perks. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today, or you at least enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Your boy Death's out. Take care.